What's up, YouTube? SimplyUnlucky here, and today we have the classic, the first edition Pegasus starter deck opening. And then I want to ask you guys to check out the channel and subscribe for more epic Yu-Gi-Oh videos. So this completes our opening for the Battle of Villains, Merrick versus Pegasus. And so I want to get straight into it, but first, you guys, as you can see there, there's an issue with the structure deck, actually, or starter deck here, not being English. It is first edition, though. So I actually ordered a first edition English Pegasus starter deck, and they thought it'd be funny if they sent me an Italian first edition starter deck. So good for them. The first edition one's a bit more rare, so I probably about valued 10 times more than this one. But so I thought I could look through all the cards or the SimplyUnlucky collection and try to find a first edition Pegasus starter deck that I had sealed away from many millennia ago, and I did find it. So it's pretty much a brand new first edition Pegasus starter deck. But I still wanted to go through the opening process of the starter deck for you guys. So, but yeah, let's get right into it. It says on the back here, man, I really don't think I can read this, but objective is Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, let's get right into it. A first edition Pegasus starter deck opening and review. And so for the structure deck showdown, the Battle of Villains here with Pegasus versus Merrick, we are going to be throwing in a couple different cards. So I need your guys' help. Please post in the comments below what cards you feel like we should add to Pegasus's deck. I definitely want Relinquish to be the main monster here, but yeah, we're gonna be adding Raw to Merrick's deck. So yeah, there's gonna be a God card, the Winged Dragon of Ra, and it's gonna be an epic structure deck showdown. And I'm hoping we can make it a super edit for you guys so that we can actually really show some epic value to the God card itself. And also, it's just, yeah, once again, you guys, please post in the comments below what you think we should add to the Pegasus starter deck to be able to compete with not only a structure deck Merrick, but the God card Ra. And yeah, so here's your classic playmat. It's a Zona Carta Monstro. And then we have the rulebook here, the classic rulebook. Goblin Ladro. Very nice. Alright, so I would pop that open, but instead we're going to go straight into our English deck right here. It's pretty much brand new too. As you guys can see, the cards are not worn at all. Okay. First edition starter deck Pegasus. Alright, so I actually have the cards in order for you guys here. So we are going to use our... Oh, thanks to our friends at Ultra Pro, we have the Triforce playmats that we have been pretty much using fairly often for our deck profiles. And so, yeah, I'm going to be sleeving up some of the different foils that we have here. So first off, we have Griffin Wing. When your opponent activates a Harpy's Feather Duster, all of your opponent's magic and traps are destroyed in place of your own. So this is a card that we would not really be able to use in a structure deck showdown. We'll go ahead and sleeve that up. Then next we have Enchanted Javelin. Classic card from Pharaoh's Servant, I believe. When your opponent's monster attacks, increase their life points by the attacking monster's attack points. Magic Jammer, discard a card, negate a magic, and destroy it. One of the first counter traps. Robin Goblin. I actually really tried to use this guy fairly often back in the day. With Dawn's Lude, you discard 2 cards from your opponent's hand each time you inflict damage to your opponent's life points. 2 random cards. Okay. Ultimate Offering. Nice. A card that they've errated a couple times, but allows you to summon monsters during your main phase and your opponent's battle phase, I believe is the new, by paying 500 life points. So it's pretty good. Is it? It's not banned anymore? I can't even remember. I just know people were doing crazy pendulum combos with it. Or Xyz combos, I think, is when they decided to mess with it. 7 Tools of Bandit. Another counter trap from Metal Raiders. Pay 1,000 life points to negate the activation of a trap card and destroy it. Waboku, the Gladiator Beast card, originally printed in the KAIBA and Yu-Gi starter decks. Make all damage 0 this turn, and no monster is destroyed by battle. I believe that's the way the new one says it. This one is a little weird, but they made the ruling on it. 500 defense for one of your monsters with castle walls. Reinforcements is 500 attack. Was actually a pretty powerful card back in the day for the Yugi Star Deck Yugi KAIBA format, I feel like. Way of destroying monsters, but of course Trap Hole, one of the more powerful cards in the beginning. In the beginning, there was LOB, Legend of Blue Eyes. If the attack of them, they should have done the Legend of Dark Magician as the second set or something. No, maybe not. If the attack of monster is summoned by an opponent is 1,000 points or more, destroyed. Excluding special summon. So they could say normal summon. And the Almighty, the banned card, been banned for a very, very long time, since the Chaos format, I believe, with 1 Graceful and 1 Pot of Greed allowed in your deck. But what does Pot of Greed do? But yes, Graceful Charity, you guys. A beautiful card. Wow. This is actually pretty cool seeing this first edition deck here. But yeah, draw 3 cards from your deck, and then discard any 2 cards from your deck. Graceful Charity. Go ahead and sleeve that one up. So now we're getting into our magics here. We got Ring of Magnetism, an intriguing card. This card can only be equipped to a monster on your side of the field. The monster equipped with this card decreases attack and defense by 500. In addition, all monsters on your opponent's side of the field must attack the monster equipped with this card if they choose to attack. So they don't have to attack, but if they choose to attack, they must attack that monster. So this was a card that greatly confused me as a 10-year-old child, but yeah, just makes your opponent's monsters have to attack your monster, even though it lowers its attack and defense by 500 points. Black Illusion Ritual, we'll save that. Yami was in here. Increase the attack and defense of all fiended spellcasters, same as in Yugi's starter deck. Soul Release, first edition. Beautiful. Remove from play 5 monsters from either you or your opponent's graveyard, and remove them from the current duel. The all-powerful, another banned card, Monster Reborn. Select one monster card from either player's own graveyard and place it on the field under your control. This is considered a special summon. Remove Trap. This card was used fairly often back in the day, I believe. It's a decent card. The first MST. Rush Recklessly. Now this card was a lot more powerful, I guess, than Reinforcements, because it's a quick play and it's a magic, so you can use it the turn you draw it. Increase one monster attack by 700 points during the turn the card is activated. And then Mystical Space Typhoon is actually in this deck, first edition, so just roll a magical trap card on the field. And if you think about it, I think Mystical Space has been out for a very long time, obviously Magic Ruler, but I don't think it was really played for a while. I'm trying to remember when. I feel like at least until GX, just because Heavy Storm and Heartbeat's Feather Duster were so prevalent. Stop Defense, because you can't attack directly, right? Forbidden Kingdom rules. Right? Forbidden Kingdom, that's the island. Change of Heart, another banned card. Friggin' Pegasus over here, taking out all the stops. Just take control when your opponent's monster. Doesn't matter if it's face down. Just take control to the end of the turn. Dispel, just like Remove Trap, but instead Dispel. And then it's curious they never changed that to D-Magic. I guess that sounds a little funky. Fissure, destroy one face-up opponent's monster with the lowest attack. Gain 1,000 with DN Keto, the Cure Master. Back when they were still keeping Japanese names as part of the title. Dark Hole. What does it do? It destroys all monsters on the field. Magical Pendant. A monster equipped with this card increases attack by 500 points, and then when it's sent from the field to the grave, deal 500 damage to an opponent. Very powerful card in Duel Links for a little bit, because Duel Links you only have so much life. Toon World, pay 1,000 to activate it. They now have Toon Kingdom, so Toon cards are definitely a lot better now. Once again, you guys, post in the comments below what cards you want to see added to the Pegasus deck, because I think Merrick will be fine. Merrick will be fine if we just add Raw, because the deck's already pretty decent. We'll probably take out Lava Golem and put in Raw or something like that. But yeah, in here we have Toon World, Toon Mermaid. These monsters are a little curious because, or they have some problems because it cannot be summoned unless Toon World's on the side of the field, while the newer Toons can be. So they still all die when Toon World is destroyed, but These have to have Toon World. Manga Ryoran. I believe they can be set though. The set a summon? I forget. Yeah, Manga Ryoran. And then Toon Summon Skull, very nice. With the almighty Toon Blue Eyes Dragon. I guess Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Awesome. And then we have Heroes Shadow Scout. Armed Ninja. Flip, destroy 1 magic on the field. If it's a trap, or if it's face down, flip face up. If it's a trap, do not destroy it. Dream Clown, I used to love playing around with this guy when I first started playing. Because MRD was kind of when I got into it. And I believe this is an MRD card, I hope so. When this card is changed from attack to defense, select and destroy 1 monster your opponent on your opponent's side of the field. Just a very powerful effect for a little clown. Speaking of clowns, new It movie. Muka Muka. Increase attack and defense by 300 for every card in the hand. Man-Eater Bug was by far one of the more powerful monsters used in the beginning of... Since the beginning. The Genesis, YuGiOh Genesis format. Which, that's a pretty cool name. The Genesis format. Witch of the Black Forest. When this card is sent from the field to the grave, move 1 monster with the defense of 15 or less from the deck to your hand. Card that was used for a while in many different formats. But yeah, that was the Chaos Emperor Dragon. Destroy all cards, including Witch. Go get Yada to your hand. GG no Ri. Jigen Bakudan and Mask of Darkness. Mask of Darkness was add a trap similar to Magician Fate. Jigen Bakudan, I kind of forget what this guy does. After this card's flipped, offer it as a tribute during your standby phase. Destroy all monsters on your side of the field and inflict damage to equal to the half of the total attack of the destroyed cards to your opponent's life points. So, I wonder if that works if this card's flipped, offered as a tribute. So I'm curious, like, if you have to flip it in order to use that effect. Sonic Birds in here. Maybe we could add a couple more Sonic Birds to make sure, and maybe another Relinquished or 2 to make sure we can get out the almighty Relinquished. I don't think Relinquished can suck up God cards, can it? When this card is summoned, excluding special summons. So when this card's normal summon, move a ritual magic from your deck to your hand. Your deck's then shuffled. I guess they didn't want to use normal summon in the wordings in the beginning of the cards. The text. And then Hain. Bounce a monster regardless of position. Getting down to our final 10 cards here, we got our normals. Toon Alligator. An alligator that's straight from cartoons. Aqua Manure, the wizard from the waters. Giant Soldier of Stone. A sturdy rock. Giant warrior made of stone, a punch from his creature's earth-shaking from his roll swords. I couldn't remember it all. Fast on its feet. Shreds its enemies with its sharp teeth. Yurbi. Rogue Doll. It's a deadly doll. And then Faceless Mage that manipulates enemy attacks with the power of illusion. And then Ryoran to go with the manga Ryoran. The vicious little dragon. Red Archery Girl to go with Toon Mermaid, I guess. A mermaid archer that hides in a protective shell. And then the almighty Relinquished. This monster can take on the attack and defense of 1 opponent's monster on the field. A face-down monster results in 0 attack and defense. Treat the selected monster as a equip card and use Relinquished. And use it to equip Relinquished. You may use this effect only once per turn and can only equip 1 monster at a time. When an opponent's monster attacks with an attack that's higher than Relinquished, the equipped monster is destroyed instead of Relinquished, and any life points damage you receive from the attacking monster is dealt to your opponent instead. Is also dealt to your opponent. That is Relinquished. Awesome. So this is the Pegasus starter deck, you guys. It is definitely a very powerful starter deck, but could probably use a little bit of help once again. If you guys can think of some awesome cards to add to the deck, that would be helpful in the comments below. And also just because we are adding Raw to Merrick, Structure Deck Merrick, so be ready for that, you guys. The Structure Deck Showdown will probably just be the powers of Pegasus and Relinquished versus Merrick and power of Raw. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and please remember to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content, and of course, post in the comments below some of your experiences with this classic starter deck, Pegasus. And I'm trying to remember, I think I was like in 6th or 7th grade when Starter Deck Joey and Pegasus came out, and I remember some of the guys were bringing them to school at the time, and so they'd be like, oh, check out my new Pegasus or Joey decks, let's battle. And I'd be like, okay, and I'd bring like my tournament deck that I was using at the card shop at the time, and I'd be like, you guys are nothing compared to what I got, the cards that I got, because I'm the king of games. And so they thought I was cool, and I thought I was cool, because I had all these cards that were a little better, because I was still young, so my cards weren't that good, but I just remember because I was going to the card shop, you know, I actually knew the ways of the people that were actually good at playing the game, and the real rules of Yu-Gi-Oh, not just summon your relinquished from your hand. And as always, once again, you guys, thanks for watching, and Simply Unlucky signing out.